Okay, so what I learned from streaming on the internet. Well, it was fun at first. Now, I don't think I'll be streaming it anymore because of the. I reached a situation where there was a few people that I was stressed out because they were challenging logic and reason. Reason was very disturbing when people want to commingle um, these things. In other words, when I'm broadcasting or streaming the thing, you have people. It's a different atmosphere. Originally, I started posting videos about. There's two sides of trading. There's analyzing and execution. So every script here is execution. Now, the last couple streams, we had this fucknut named Brett. And he's like, yeah, but, the market's going the other way. Now, depending what time frame you're trading, somebody's making money on a different. In other words, you're in traffic and somebody's passing you by. Well, inside their car, there's a different story, right? So everybody's has a different stop, a different take profit. Now, the problem with the streaming is that you rarely get anybody in the chat stream, the chat room, whatever, calling out their trades. I got in here. I'm in this big. Nobody's talking about money. Trading's about money. And then I just, I guess I'm just too gullible, man. People want to piss me off. Well, it doesn't take much, apparently. And I just don't, I just tired of like having to swim upstream against illogic nonsense. So I probably don't even know if I'm going to post any more videos. I think I've gone as far as I could go as far as explaining, I guess, my view of reality. Now, there's people that get it, people that don't. If you don't get it, I can't help you. There's no more metaphors or analogies I can possibly come up with to explain it. And I just don't know who these people are. Now, this Brett guy, it's one thing to say blah, 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 but when somebody says, okay, let's talk, well, I'd love to talk to you, but they don't talk to you. So I don't have the energy to play that game. I'm old. I got things to do in my life. Some guy said, well, that's all you do is trade. Well, if you trade for a living, yes, that's what I do is I trade. So, like, get a life and, go fuck you. So, I mean, it's what I do. And, that's really, as far as, like I said, my other business is gone. And I could not afford to buy a robot for my other business. They're very expensive. So the robots took over. I went into trading. I knew how to trade. I've got a lot of knowledge. I just kind of just thought I would just give away everything I know. And I don't, I don't want to fight with people, because I'll win. I mean, if you want to talk to me on the phone, let's go around. Let's argue. But you can't. I've had many arguments with people. If you have no, it's like you can't. And of course, like they say, if you win the argument, what do you got, right? There's no money in that. I don't monetize my videos. I mean, there's advertising on there because I've run copyrighted material like snowstorms, and so people have, they'll run ads because of that, because I put I guess, a snowstorm on. But yeah, it's been fun. I met the whole point was to meet people and exchange ideas. And so I think I'm just going to move on to maybe a hangout format or something, or just a Skype one-on-one if somebody wants to build something together. Okay, I don't want to argue with anybody anymore. I don't want to have to try to explain anything. If you don't, like, people say, well, can you show me the video where you... Okay, I only did like 700 videos or whatever. I don't know. Dig through it. If you find a kernel of something helpful, that's great. I just don't have to prove it. I'm not here to prove anything. I'm here to give you I guess these are mini trade plans. I don't even. I guess I'm so far from conventional trading that, or maybe in some ways that I don't have to start. So I talked to this kid last night. He's 18-year-old. This is my tequila buddy's son, and we're sitting there last night, and I got my tablet, and I'm showing him stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I want to understand this." Now, he got it. Okay, he got it real quick because he doesn't have fucking stochastics in his fucking brain. So, this whole emphasis on the indicators and the alarms and the stuff, these are just price levels. I don't think it's hard to unlearn, whatever you call it, kind of these. But in the end, let's face it, it is almost ridiculous to stream the market because everybody has already, anybody that's trading has already got a trade plan in their head. And the people that are like wondering what's going on, I don't know where they're at. Now, if I talked to somebody who didn't know zero, I'd know exactly where I'm at. I could explain how I see the world. I think it's true in any topic in the world. Whatever endeavor you're doing, somebody's going to say, well, okay, let me see. Okay, what equipment do I need to do this project? What is this? What is that? The checklist and all that stuff. But and if somebody agrees with my trade, then I think, well, you know what? Just because I know a bunch of stuff, we're in different. Each of us are in different size positions, or we have different net worths, right? So it might be a loss for you, and I cannot get anybody to talk about this on the stream. I gave up. Nobody called out a dollar amount of risk. I mean, this is like, for all this talk about show me your real money, show your real money, why don't you talk about fucking real money? So that was another brick. That was another thing I just couldn't tolerate. This idea that, this is Bitcoin, by the way, this chart. And they just hacked some Bitcoins, some thing, and it doesn't seem to hurt Bitcoin. But the geopolitics, what affects the markets. So you come to a saturation point, and then you just, you say, it's done, You reached you can tell, how can you tell it's over? When you have to block somebody from the chat. I can take a lot of shit. And in person, if you wanted to fight me, let's go. But if you're going to troll me on the live stream, since I'm not selling anything and I just don't know how these people do it. No wonder they're charging, right? Because the punishment you have to endure, and I'm over it. I'm tired. I don't need that. If I have to block somebody, and I've taken a lot of shit from people, then if I got to block them, well, that's almost like they say the writing on the wall kind of thing. I'm like, well, you know what? It's time to stop streaming. So I do like to speculate about where something's going. I guess I'm fascinated by stuff like Bitcoin and stuff that's just ridiculous, right? You're like, really? Bitcoin at like 14,000? You're like, what? But so that stuff, and then, but yeah, I mean, not everybody, everybody's in a different level of where they're at in their trading, in the continuum of learning and making money and stuff, and everybody's going to get better at trading. Well, you should, right? And then when you set something, and then when you come back to it, I'm just trying to put out ideas, okay? And people are like, well, or concepts. I'm really a conceptual person. I'm into concepts because I think that's the power. We can plug in real things into concepts, but let's face it. You need some idea, and then you're gonna take that to the real world. Then it's gonna be, I got to find a broker to execute this idea, and I got to find all the things, the concrete things that go along with that. But for everybody it's different. And some people can't even get to the platform. They can't babysit the market. The moment the trade presents itself or whatever, that they miss the entry or something. And as soon as you do, everything you do is trading psychological. So it's really what you feel comfortable with. And what you feel uncomfortable with might be the right thing to do. Like take a loss or get out after the move's over. I mean, you can see that you've reached the move. So, this battle of I'm right, you're wrong, you can both be right because the market is moving up and down. And depending on how tight your profits and your losses are on your scripts or your order, your ticket order, that's all that matters. So, and the size of that ticket, right? So, it's, and some people are going to, I don't know if people are just trying to piss me off. So I don't understand that. If it was in the flesh now, last night, 18-year-old kid, I can see he's looking at what I'm looking at. He's asking me a question. If you were to show somebody a trade, you really have to do it in the flesh because you're reading their body language. If they're bored, you can tell. Now, it's such an to stream is an invisible audience. Then you'll see that like 14, 20 people are watching. This isn't like watching somebody have sex. I mean, this is boring. That might be boring too. But so it's really hard to gauge. And then you're thinking, well, and this guy's telling me I'm running my mouth. Well, fucking duh. I've been doing that for years. But like they say, no good deed goes unpunished. So if you're giving something away, the people that resent that are going to be upset. And if you're selling something, the people that resent that are going to be upset. So the resentment and all that stuff. And, that you're attracting people trying to make money. And I don't know. It's just too much. So, I'd rather just talk about politics, honestly. But, this is trading and, or just talk about things, man. Talk about interesting ideas, really out there stuff, unconventional things. We all can do the conventional trading, look, I'm going to get in here, a single ticket, put a stop. So somebody asked me in the very last stream I did, probably last stream I'll ever do. Hey, I don't get it. Why so many tickets? If you can't understand diffusion of risk, then I can't help you. If you can't see why, there's more than one spring in your mattress, why don't you just put one spring in your mattress? I can't help you. So, anyways, that's the story, and I'm gonna just go to. I'm gonna talk to traders that trade now. So I hang out with, talk to people that we can both share charts. We can talk about it rationally. I just can't handle this ambiguity. I don't know who's I'm talking to. I don't know what they're doing. I'm trying to help somebody, and it's like I'm just trying to give my opinion, and all the vitriol is just a little too much. So I'll just go to private hangouts or whatever it is. So we did a hangout with real traders. I think it was, I don't know if it was Monday, I think. So it looks like the way to go because, it's just too much. Everything reaches has a life cycle. And so that looks like that's pretty much reached its, that's about as far as it can go. So it was fun streaming, but it's just too difficult. You know, I don't want to fight with people anymore. It's just, you know, I mean, the whole point of trading is to make money, enjoy your life, and, you know, try to make money. You're not trying to beat your head against the wall. And the idea that beating your head against the wall, why would you do that? Why would you beat your head against the wall? Because it feels so good when you stop. So there, I'm going to stop.